So in previous lecture, we discussed your basic definition of your probability up to your complementary events. Now, what is your independent and dependent event? Event are independent if there is a no relation between occurrence of them. But if one is occurrence of one is depending upon occurrence of other, then we say that it is depending upon your other event. So as a definition say happening of one event is independent happening of other, then we say it is independent event. If the happening of one event depend upon happening of other, then it is called depending event. For example, if we say we have the coin, if we toss a coin, we get your head, maybe tail. So if we say if we get the head, we again toss a coin that give you a head and also tail. But if tail comes, we say we toss a dice. So that results may give you a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So if we say find these two events, if we say the occurrence of 3, so occurrence of 3 depending upon your first event, that tail should become throwing the coin or tossing a coin. So if we say what is the probability of head, so that head also depending upon it should be a head in your first event. So this head depending upon this. Similarly, these values also depending upon this key. In previous event we should have tail. So just go through with the one example. From a bag containing 3 red and 5 blue ball, draw 2 ball one by one. So when you say one by one, when you draw the first ball, we have total ball is 3 plus 5, 8. But when you draw the second ball, as one ball is already drawn, so left ball are your 7. So we may here put some conditions. Two things we may observe here. First thing, if we draw one ball is replaced, if we draw ball is replaced means we again put that into a box. So if we again put them in a box, that means total balls we again have 8. But if ball drawn is not replaced, that means when we pick first ball, now we have remaining balls are 7. So let's go with the question completely. From the bag containing 3 red, 5 blue ball, draw 2 ball one by one. Let first draw we get the red, second draw we get the blue. So we have your total 3 red, total are 8, so probability of red ball is 3 by 8. But when you say blue ball, so we have total balls are blue, that is 5, and total ball are your 8. So that probability of blue ball is your 5 by 8. So these are event are independent to each other, means drawing of first ball and drawing of second ball. But when you not replace the ball, the probability of red ball is your, as red ball are 3 in start, that is 3 by 8. But when you pick one red ball, your total remaining balls are 7. So probability of blue ball in second draw, as total ball are your 7, blue ball are 5, so it is 5 by 7. Here in second draw, blue balls probability is depending upon your first draw also. So this is called the dependent event. Now one more example we can go through. From 8 male and 5 female form a committee of 6 members. So in 6 members, you know that many combinations are possible. So the committee has 2 females. First part of this question say that committee has 2 females. So total are here 6. If 2 are females, so remaining 4 are your male. So we are interested to find the probability of 2 female and 4 male. So first part we can calculate the probability of committee has 2 female. That means 2 female and 4 should be male. Now we know that we have the 5 female. Out of 5 we can choose only 2. That means combination possibles are 5C2. You may calculate this. That is your 5 factorial, 2 factorial and 3 factorial. And after that we know that your 5 factorial can be written as your 5 into 4 into 3 factorial. So in this 3 factorial get cancelled with your 3 factorial, and we know that this 2 factorial also 2 which can cancel this 4 also. So that is 5 into 2 is your 10. Also 4 males, that means out of 8 the possible combinations are, that is your 8C4. So you can calculate your factorial from this. That is your, by the formula, your 8 factorial 4 into 4 factorial, or you say 4 factorial into 4 factorial. So we know that your 8 factorial can be written as 8 into 7 into 6 into 5 into 4 factorial. So 4 factorial will get cancelled with this, right? And your this 4 can give you a, can be written as your 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. So this 4 can be written as your 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. So we know that 2 into 4 is your 8. So we can cancel this 8 and 3 cancel with this. That give you a 2. So that is 2 into 5 is your 10 into 7 is your 70. So these possible combination of 2 female from the out of 5. Similarly, these are the 8 female from the 8 male from total, and we choose 4 combination are 70. So we require this 2 male also and female also, so that we use a multiplication sign between these two, as both we require, right? So in case of AND, we use a multiplication between these two. So the probability of 2 female into, say you say this one. So possible cases when you go through, so we can use the product sign if AND is there. So combination of favorable cases are 10 into 70 and divided by total cases, as total balls are your 8 plus 5, that is 13. So you can calculate your this 13 C6. So kindly do this calculation. Just substitute here for these value into 70 divided by total cases, that is your 13C6. So anyhow, do this completely, right? So on the second part of this is your the committee has at least four female, at least four females. So total member of committee are six. So at least four female means females are maybe four, and we have two male that become your six, and at least four means female may be your five also, and that time we must have one male also. So that is again six. So two cases are possible because it may be possible six female, but we have the available female members are only five. So two cases are possible. We have your four female or two males, or maybe your five female or one males. So maybe this possible or this possible. Only one of them is possible. That's why we can use or, and we can use your plus sign. In or we use plus, in and we use multiplication. So we require your four females and two males. That means cases for this and this, and this means we use your multiplication here. So for this we have the total female are your five. So require four. So that means 5C4. And for this total male are your eight. We require two. That is 8C2. And total are your six we require. So out of 13. So we may say it is 13C6. Similarly, for your second part, we have your five females, that is 5C5, one male from your 8, that is 8C1, and total is 13, out of which we require 6. So kindly do this little calculation on the basis of combinations. We may go for your further example. It says your a bag containing 7 white, 6 red, 5 black ball. 2 balls are drawn at random. Find the probability that they will both be white. So if you see here, we have the 7, 6, 5, total 17 balls, out of which we require only 2 balls. So total possible combinations or cases are your 18C2. And we know that that can be written as your 18 factorial, 2 factorial, and 18 minus 2, that is 16 factorial. And everyone know that your 18 factorial can be written as your 18 into 17 into 16 factorial. So this 16 factorial cancel with 16, 2 factorial cancel with this 18, and that give you 9, that is 17 into 9, and that is 153. So total exhaustive cases are your 153, and we require 2 balls which should be both white. So favorable cases, we have the 7 balls. In total, we require your 2. So that is your 7 factorial, which can be written as your 7 into 6 into 5 factorial. And divided by your 2 factorial into 7 minus 2, that is 5 factorial. Because of this 5 factorial, I already write this in a 7 factorial into a 7, 6, 5 factorial. So this 2 factorial is 2, that means your 6 by 2 is 3, that is 21. So this just favorable cases divided by total number cases give you a probability, which is 7 by 51 in this particular case. Similarly, another example which is a little important. 4 cards are drawn from a pack of cards. We know that the total number of cards are 52 in a pack of cards. Find the probability that all are diamond. So hope so we all know that we have 4 type of card: diamond, spade, heart, and one is I think so. 4 type of cards we have, and all type have your 13 cards. That is 1 to 10, and J, Q, and K. That is Jack, Queen, and King. So we have total 13 into 4, that is 52 cards in your playing card pack. So there is one card of each suit. So you, second question, and third is your, there are 2 spades and 2 hearts. So first we can go with your first one, that is all are diamond. So first, all are diamond. We needed to take out 4 cards. So what is total cases, or you say exhaustive cases? So total card are 52. We need 4. That means you are 52. C4. That is total combinations. That is 52 factorial, 4 factorial, and 52 minus 4. That is 48 factorial. And but this 48 is cancel out when you write 52 factorial as 52, 51, 50, 49 into 48 factorial. In that case, your this 48 factorial is cancel out, and remaining you can do your calculation. We got your something 2,70,725. So question say all are diamond, all 4 are diamond. We have total 13 diamond, so we need 4 from your 13 diamonds. So that is 13C4. So that is your 13 factorial, 4 factorial, and 13 minus 4 is your 9 factorial. So if you solve this, that will give you a 715. So favorable cases divided by total cases give you a probability of all are diamonds. So similarly, another example here in this same part of this, there is a 1 card of each suit. Each suit means we have 1 diamond card from diamond, 1 from spades, 1 from heart, and similarly 1 from others. So that is means from 13 card we require only 1 card, but from each, this means from first and from second and from third and from fourth. When you say and, we use your multiplication, please. So that's why from first suit 13C1 is combination, from second suit is also 13C1, 13C1, 13C1 from third and fourth respectively, and 13C1 we know that is your 13 only because it is 13 factorial, 1 factorial, and 12 factorial, and 13 factorial can be written as 13 into 12. So in that case, your 12 factorial is get cancelled with this 12, that we are left with 13 only, right? So that is number of favorable cases, and total cases we already know 2,70,725. If we divide, we get the required probability. And third part of this question say 2 spades. So we have 13 spades, we require 2 from them. That is combinations are 13 C2, and remaining 2 are from heart, that is also total 13. So we choose 2, that is 13C2. So 13C2 combination for this, 13C2 combination from this, but we have the and between them, so we use the multiplication sign for total combination. So required favorable cases are 13C2 into 13C2, that is 78 into 1700 after calculation. So total cases, sorry, favorable cases divided by total cases give you a probability. So now for some few more definition or theorems, we say additional theorem of probability. When you say we have the two mutually exclusive events, so mutually exclusive event, that means there is nothing. Suppose this is a sample space and we have two event A and B, that is mutually exclusive, means there is nothing common between A and B. So when you say probability of A union B, so that means probability of A plus probability of B, because nothing is common between them, so we require the probability of this also plus this also. And union means we may use your or also from A or B. Second part of this theorem says if A and B are not mutually exclusive, then the same probability of A union B can be written as so when you say A and B are not mutually exclusive, not exclusive means there is some part is common between them. So this one is your A spouse, this one is your B. So we know that your this common part is called your A intersection B. That means A and B. That is A also and B also. That is common part. So when you say your probability of A union B, it is your probability of A. That is probability of this A part. Probability of B part. When you say to this one. So if you see at this stage, your this common part you have added two times. One time when you talking about A and another time you are talking about B. So it's repeated two times, but we require one time only. So we subtract this A intersection B once, so that this part also cover only one time. So that give you a probability of A union B. So the formula for A union B is probability of A plus B minus intersection of A and B's probability. So we have another law, that is multiplicative law. So when we have the two event, those are the independent event, then the probability of these simultaneous occurrence is A intersection B, that means probability of A and probability of B. So when you use your intersection, or you may say and, that is your probability of first case and probability of second case. When you say union or your or, in that case we say we use the addition sign between them, probability. But when we have the and, we use the multiplication between them. Also, if events are not independent, so that means they are depending upon each other. It may possible A is depending upon B, it may possible B is depending upon A. So when you say intersection, we say the probability of first into probability of second. As here we say probability of first into probability of second. But in this particular case, suppose B is depending upon A. So probability of A, and when you're talking about probability of B, as it is depending upon A, we write this as B slash A. That means B is depending upon A, that is conditionally depending upon A. That is called your conditional occurrence, right? Where this B by A or A by B says conditional probability of A if B is already occurred, and B by A means probability of B when A is already occurred. We also know that this A intersection B can be written as B intersection A. So in this case, suppose A is depending upon B, not B is depending upon A. So probability of first, that is B, into probability of second, that is A, But in this particular case, we consider that probability of A is depending upon occurrence of B also. So we can say it is conditional probability, that is probability of A depending upon B. So A intersection B probability can be written in two forms, but one is your probability of A into probability of B by A, another is probability of B into probability of A by B, right? Both things are possible. So if we divide this from your these first two part, if we divide your probability of B by A both sides, so that we give you get this one. Sorry, we divide this probability of A this side, shift probability of A this side, or you say divide both sides by probability of A. That give you a probability of B by A is equal to probability of intersection A and B divided by probability of A. So intersection of both of them and divided by this term, that is probability of A, on which B is depending. Similarly, if you consider your these first and the last, so that means this one. So we divide both sides by probability of B. In that case, probability of A by B give us probability of A intersection B divided by probability of B. Right? So you may remember this, right? So we may go with your one example. Very interesting example. Suppose we give a question. A problem is in mechanics is given to three students A, B, C, whose chance of solving the problem are 1 by 2, 1 by 3, 1 by 4. So probability of solving the problem is 1 by 2, 1 by 3, 1 by 4. What is the probability that problem will be solved? So problem can be solved if first can solve the problem. Problem can be solved if only second can solve. Problem can be solved only third can solve the problem. So try to understand the question, please. The solution is simple, but kindly try to understand this. So problem is solved if any of these three can solve. Means A can solve the problem, but not B, right? But if we give the problem to three students, that means B is also performing, C is also performing, right? So it may possible your only one of them can solve the problem. So three cases are possible in that case. The probability A gets success, but B, you say not B. Not B means B cannot solve this. You may use B bar also, and you say C can not solve the problem. So one case. Second case, your question is simple, but please try to understand the thing. So A not solve the problem, but B can solve. Third, A is not able to solve the problem, but B is also not able to solve, but C can solve. So in this case, we have only one of them can solve the problem. Only one of them can solve the problem. Maybe A, maybe B, maybe C, means we have three cases for this. Another thing is possible when two can solve the problem. That means your A and B can solve, but not C. That may be your A and C can solve the problem, but not B. That may A not solve the problem, but B and C can solve the problem. So here also two can solve, then problem is solved. One more case we have here, all three can solve the problem. That is A also, B also, C also. One more case, none of them can able to solve your problem. So none of them can solve the problem. That means probability of A is fail, B is fail, and C is fail. All three are unable to solve the problem. So I am saying all three are attempting. A is also fail, B is also fail, and C is also fail. All are attempting. That means there is between, and there is between these all A fail and B fail and C fail. So in that case, we know that we use the separate probability of these, as these are the independent event. These are trying the question separately, so there is no relation between them. And in case of and in multiplicative law, we say we use the multiplication sign. So the probability of A fail into probability of B fail, probability of C fail, means none of them can solve the problem. Another thing, we know that total probability of system is always 1. Means probability of 2 can solve, probability of all 3 can solve. If we say the plus sign, all these cases, the total probability of system is always 1. And we want your question can be solved. So question solve if your any one of them can solve, two of them can solve, any three of them solve, means in all last 3 cases our problem is solved. So we want to calculate probability of 1 can solve, probability of 2 can solve, probability of 3 can solve. But instead of calculating this, all these 3, we may do, we shift your probability of none can solve to the right hand side, that is 1 minus probability of all fail. That means it is your probability of 1 plus probability of 2 can solve plus probability of 3 can solve. Or you may say at least one of them can solve problem, or you say problem is solved. At least one can solve. So if you see, the understanding is little lengthy, but the question is not so much lengthy. So now we require this to get the problem solution can solve. So for this here, we know that the probability of all fail, that is P0, is probability of A fail into B fail into C fail. So let's back to the question, whose chance of solving of A, B, C are given. So chance of solving are given, but not failing. So that failing means, not solving means 1 minus solving always. So P can solve the problem is probability 1 by 2. So P can not solve the problem, probability is 1 minus 1 by 2. Similarly, B can solve the problem is probability 1 by 3. So cannot solve the problem, probability is 1 minus 1 by 3. Similarly, for this, C cannot solve the problem is 1 minus 1 by 4. So just go through with the answer. The probability of A, B, C solving the problem are 1 by 2, 1 by 3, 1 by 4. So probability A, B, C not solve the problem are 1 minus 1 by 2, 1 by 1 minus 1 by 3, 1 minus 1 by 4, and this give you a 1 by 2 and your 2 by 3 and your 3 by 4. Now we are calculating this one, none can solve the problem. So the probability that problem is not solved, that means probability of A fail and B fail and C fail. So this 1 by 2 is A fail, 3 by 2 by 3 is B fail and C fail. So just we can cancel out this, I think. So we are left with your 1 by 4 if none can solve the problem, 1 by 4. So at least one can solve or problem can be solved. That means your 1 minus P0. So P0 we already calculated is 1 by 4. That means 1 minus 1 by 4, which is your simple 3 by 4. That means at least one can solve your problem or your problem can be solved. Right? So hope so you can get this question. So further, one more question I'm just going through. A can hit a target 4 times in a 5 shots. That means A can hit a target. Probability is 4 are favorable cases. Total are 5. That is 4 by 5. Similarly, B can hit 3 times in a 4 shoot. That is probability is favorable 3 divided by 4. C twice in 3 shoots. That in probability of C can hit is your 2 by 3. They fire a volley. What is the probability at least 2 shoots hit? At least 2 shots hit, right? So we needed to calculate the 2 of them can hit if all 3 are trying. So 2 of them can hit the volley. So that is what are possible cases? Cases are here all 3 can hit. That means probability of A hit, B hit, and also C hit. And so for that its probability we can calculate the probability of A multiply probability of B multiply probability of C, because when all 3 are trying and all are doing some result, it always gives some result. So we need the probability of A and B and C, right? Another case is possible when your 2 can hit. So 2 can hit, having 3 possible cases are here. That means your A hit, maybe B hit, and C cannot hit. So 2 are get success, A and B. It may possible, or you say or you say union, or you say plus. That is A hit and C hit, but B cannot. Third case is also possible in this. That is A fail, but B and C get the success. So only these 3, out of these 3, only one is work at a time. So we require the probability of first case or plus sign, probability of second case, or that means plus sign, probability of third case. So we needed to calculate the probability of this also, this also, this also, and we all these 3 probability, we get the probability of 2 can hit. And also we have the result for probability 3 can hit. We add these 2, that give you a 2 shots hits. That means probability of 2 hit or probability of, sorry, plus probability of 3 hits, right? So we can go for this first. So A, B, C all can hit. So all can hit means you are 4 by 5 A hit into B hit into C hit. That is your 4 by 5, 3 by 4, 2 by 3. After solving, we get your 24 by 60. That is first case. Its answer. Now, for 2 can hit, we have 3 sub cases. So we can try one by one. First one, this one, A, B hit, but C missed the target. So that means probability of A success, B success, and C is fail. Fail means your 1 minus success, that is 1 minus 2 by 3. So we multiply all these 3 quantity and get 12 by 60. Similarly, A and C get the success, B fail. So we product all these 3, just changing your this B, which is fail, by 1 minus 3 by 4 as missing, or you say fail probability, say 1 minus success. So after multiplying, get 8 by 60. Similarly, third part of this, that is B and C get the success, but A fail. that is your 1 minus 1 by 4, as probability of success of A is your 4 by 5. So 1 minus 4 by 5, multiply B success, multiply C success. After multiplying, we get 6 by 60. So these three cases are for your probability of two of them get success, and this is probability of all three get the success. So at least two we require, that will be addition of these two, that means addition of all these four cases. So just add all these four, we get your 5 by 6 is probability of at least two hit the target. So hope so you get little idea about the addition law and your multiplicative law. So I'm stopping this lecture here. Thank you for listening. Bye.